Safely restructuring Windows GPT partitions to extend C, and avoid dynamic disk pitfalls by George Gill. You can't remove gaps on a GPT disk with a single PowerShell command. You have to delete or recreate partitions so that the space is contiguous, and that is a destructive operation. There is no safe, built-in PowerShell command that will magically move partitions around without deleting them. To convert to a dynamic disk, Windows insists on a clean, consistent layout. No unexpected or unsupported partition types between basic data partitions. On a GPT system disk, that usually means EFI system partition, Microsoft reserved partition, MSR, C, and other basic data volumes. Recovery partition. If your layout has extra OEM/recovery slices or weird partitions between basic data volumes, you'd need to remove or relay out those partitions, which means data loss unless everything is fully backed up and restored. Why there isn't a good PowerShell answer. The storage commands, like get partition, remove partition, resize partition, can list partitions, delete partitions, resize partitions within limits. They cannot move partitions to a different location on disk or reorder them. To remove gaps, you'd have to back up the data from the partitions you're deleting or shrinking, use remove partition on those partitions, then recreate and restore data into a new layout. That's essentially manual repartitioning, not a simple one-liner. Why you probably shouldn't convert this disk to dynamic? On a modern GPT Windows system disk, dynamic disks add complexity and can break. Multi-boot setups, some backup/imaging tools, some recovery scenarios. In current versions of Windows, dynamic disks are largely a legacy feature. Storage spaces and other mechanisms have replaced most use cases. You've already hit a WinRE/recovery partition situation, which is exactly where dynamic conversion and gap removal can go wrong. Deleting or disturbing the recovery partition can break reset/advanced startup. If you still want to proceed, high-risk outline, I'd strongly recommend doing this only after a full backup, and ideally using specialized partition software rather than PowerShell. But conceptually, the PowerShell steps would look like 1. Identify the non-essential partitions that are causing the gaps, typically old OEM or unused recovery partitions. 2. Back up any data from those partitions. 3. Use remove partition disk number X, partition number Y, confirm, $false to delete them. 4. Recreate any needed data partitions or leave the space unallocated. 5. Once the layout is acceptable to Windows, use convert to dynamic disk via disk management or corresponding APIs on the disk. I'm deliberately not giving you a copy-paste command because the right partitions to delete depend on your exact layout. One wrong remove partition can remove EFI, MSR, or the active recovery partition and leave the machine unbootable.